Picture this. It's October 10th, 2021, at Kyiv's main airport, Boryspil. A Ukrainian citizen is coming home, walks up to passport control, and what should have taken 30 seconds turns into a full-blown 2-hour standoff. This is the story of one man, his knowledge of the Constitution, and a clash with the state's pandemic rules.
And this whole incident really makes you wonder, right? In a global health crisis, where does the government's power to keep people safe end, and where do our fundamental rights as citizens begin? Let's dive in and break down exactly how this all went down.
All right, so it all kicks off at the border control booth. A guy hands over his passport, just expecting that familiar thump of the entry stamp, but that's not what happens. The conversation that's about to unfold is anything but routine.
It all started with just one simple question. A question that, let's be honest, people were hearing all over the world at the time. The border guard just asked the citizen, "Are you vaccinated?" And that one question, well, it was the spark that lit the fuse for this whole confrontation.
And boom, right away, the two sides are clear. The citizen just flat out refuses to answer. He says, "Look, that's my private medical information." But the border guard pushes back, saying, "Hey, I'm just doing my job. I have to enforce the government's quarantine decree." It's that classic conflict, isn't it? Personal privacy on one side and a public health mandate on the other.
But here's where it gets really interesting. The citizen doesn't just say no and leave it at that. Oh no. He immediately takes his argument to a whole other level, basing his refusal on the highest law in the entire country, the Constitution of Ukraine.
This right here, this is his trump card. He quotes Article 33, which guarantees every single citizen the unconditional right to come back home to Ukraine. And in Ukrainian law, this is an absolute right. We're talking so fundamental that you can't limit it, not even in a state of emergency. He's basically saying, I'm not just a traveler, I'm a citizen, and I have an absolute right to be here.
And this is where things really escalate. Instead of just stamping the passport or arguing further, the border guards hold on to it. They just keep it. And that one action changes everything. A verbal argument is now a physical restriction. Without his passport, he can't go anywhere. He's trapped. Now, there's actually a legal term for what the citizen believes is happening to him. It's called de facto detention. And it basically means that even though nobody's put him in handcuffs or read him his rights, his freedom of movement has been completely restricted by the authorities. He can't move forward, he can't go back. For all practical purposes, he's being detained.
So, with his passport gone and his entry blocked, the citizen decides this isn't just some administrative headache anymore. In his eyes, a crime is being committed, and he's about to do something about it.
He pulls out his phone and dials 102, the National Police Hotline. Think about that. He's not asking for a supervisor at the border guard station. He's not looking to file a customer service complaint later. He's escalating this to an entirely different branch of law enforcement because he believes he's reporting a crime in progress.
And listen to how he phrases this. He tells the police dispatcher in no uncertain terms, "I am reporting a crime." He's not asking for help, he's making an accusation, and he's specific. He claims he's been illegally detained and his passport has been stolen from him without any legal reason.
Okay, so the police arrive. This is a huge moment. The citizen now has an official audience. And let me tell you, he came prepared. He's ready to dictate a formal criminal complaint against the border guards right then and there.
He's not just making some vague accusation, this guy is ready to go. He has these specific articles from the Criminal Code of Ukraine memorized, and he's accusing these guards of serious crimes, the kind that can have real consequences.
He lays out 3 distinct charges. First, Article 161, violation of equality. He's saying they discriminated against him based on his health status. Second, Article 356, arbitrariness. This is a big one. It means an official knowingly abused their power and acted outside the law. And third, Article 371, unlawful detention, for, illegally holding him there.
And he doesn't stop there. In his full statement to the police, he just keeps building his case. He brings up Article 32 of the Constitution, saying his privacy was violated. He cites Article 24 on equality. And then he adds another incredible layer. He informs them that as a combat veteran, if he's being detained, he's legally entitled to a state-provided lawyer. It's a total power move, showing he knows the system inside and out.
So, the criminal complaint is officially on the record. The police are there as witnesses. The citizen has made his stand. The border guards are in a tough spot. Everybody is just waiting. So after all of that, how does this finally end?
For 2 hours. 2 whole hours. After arriving, the citizen is just stuck in this legal limbo. He's physically on Ukrainian soil, but he's not legally allowed to enter, and his passport is still in someone else's hands.
And then, just like that, it's over. The passport is handed back to him, he's allowed to pass through the gate, he's finally officially home.
So what was the official reason for this 2-hour delay? Well, according to the Border Service, it had absolutely nothing to do with vaccines or constitutional law. The official story was that his passport data just happened to not be in their database, and it required a long-term additional check. An explanation that seems, well, a little different from the confrontation we all just witnessed.
This entire incident, from a single question to a full-blown criminal complaint, really forces us to ask a huge question. When we're in a crisis, how do we balance the government's need to protect everyone with the absolute constitutional rights of a single citizen? This whole story is a perfect snapshot of that tension, leaving us all to wonder, where exactly do we draw that line?